Love's for beginners, ain't no winners. It slips through your fingers, I ain't telling no lies. So F all the drama, F the karma. Just do what you wanna, promise you got time. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, do yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Come get your future, know you wanna. She'll never betray ya, she ain't telling no lies. So break the glass ceiling, find your meaning, make truth out of dreaming, yeah. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, do yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, do yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life.
I know you guys have played in front of a lot of celebrities, but what was it like to compete in front of royalty tonight? The Prince and Princess of Wales were in the building.
It was just a regular game to me.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday podcast. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, please. Hope you're all having a fabulous week. Lots of updates and things to talk about today. So let's get straight into it. Let's see who's in the chat. Thank you as always, mods. Much appreciated. What did we all think of Harry's appearance at the Better Up Uplift event? I actually have not watched it because I was quite busy yesterday. Lightside was nice enough to record it and send it to me, but I just haven't had a moment to look at it. So I guess I can give you a better personal opinion about it tomorrow. but I'd love to know what you all thought about it. I saw bits and pieces of it, a lot of smiling, a lot of laughing, the happiest hostage that I've ever seen. And it's great to see Harry in his role. And, as Alexis said, the one clip that I did see was, who better than him to take the role in the company? Somebody who is publicly going through his healing journey and showing that it is okay to get help. I saw this clip. I don't know why I tortured myself for a whole 20 seconds, after which I had to cut the video of, Candace Owens. And she was like, oh, I didn't realize being a little bee was a career path or something like that. And I think that for men especially, it is important for them to hear the message that you can get help. It's okay to get help, and you should get help. Don't bottle things up inside. Don't just think that problems are going to go away, because they stew over and they become worse, and the people around you, girlfriends, wives, sisters, other family members, have to deal with those issues. And so anybody that says, that getting therapy or getting help for yourself and healing yourself is somehow makes you less of a man or less of a person, does not want the best for you. But we know that Candace Owens is just a grifter. Hey, pleasant to be here. Glad you're able to make a live. Yes, thumbs up, please. Thank you, Palena, for reminding everyone. And so with that, let's get into it, shall we? Right, yesterday was International Women's Day, or we might as well start calling it quote Meghan Day, because half of my feed, all of these different organizations were just quoting her. Meghan was all up my feed yesterday. It was like Meghan, Malala. Yeah, we should just call it Meghan and Malala Day. But you know who wasn't being quoted? That other Duchess. I was at the outside co-working space yesterday, and I actually did a panel for International Women's Day. We were talking about solo travel, we were talking about digital nomadism, and all the ladies on the panel were absolutely amazing. One of the ladies is actually running a company that is responsible for the digital nomad visa in Colombia. So she runs a company, ePioneers, and she's actually managed to negotiate with the government to have a digital nomad style visa. So if you're thinking of being a remote worker, Colombia is one place that you can think about going. There is now a visa for you. So I think that's just absolutely remarkable. The lady on the end, she runs a freelance social media marketing business, and the lady next to her also runs a marketing agency. So all women who are running remote businesses and doing their thing. It was such an inspiring talk, and thank you so much to the people at Outside for having me. It's the first time I have moderated a panel, and it was just incredible to see women doing amazing things with their lives, and actually taking the initiative to say, do you know what, I'm going to go out into the world and I'm going to see what the world has to offer. And I have to say to you all listening to me, if you're thinking of perhaps traveling abroad, even if it's just for a short time, maybe working remotely, maybe doing the whole expat thing, don't let fear get the better of you. Traveling is one of the best things I've ever done. Every time I do it, I go out of my comfort zone. I get new opportunities, and I would have never gotten this opportunity had I not said, you know what, I've had enough of the UK, and I'm going to see what else is out there. So be brave enough to see what is on the other side of fear is my message to you all for International Women's Day. And thank you so much to the people at Outside for having me. And thank you all for your prayers and encouragement. I feel quite confident talking on the podcast because you can't really see me. But being in front of a group of people, oh, that's a whole different thing, and it's something that I'm still working on. I was still quite nervous, but I did a lot better than I thought I would, and it was a great chat. We all went for drinks afterwards, so that's what I was doing. Meghan was out in LA, looking very slick and very rich. She went to the Harvest shelter for women escaping domestic violence and all kinds of difficult situations. And she was there with the Archwell team. They were helping out. Did not come empty-handed. Sorry, I actually didn't have enough time to get the pictures. Archwell posted a second group of pictures where you could see them there at the center helping out with donations and just helping out organize things. We know that our Duchess does not come empty-handed. She comes with initiative, with items, with things to give away and help people, and with a genuine smile and a hug. So that's what Team Archwell and Meghan was doing for International Women's Day, and it's just great to see her out and about, enjoying the community and doing things that create impact at the same time. And this was posted on the Archwell website for International Women's Day. Archwell celebrated with Harvest Home. This valuable organization helps provide housing, mental well-being, support, and classes to expectant mothers who have faced tremendous challenges, including domestic violence, substance abuse, and homelessness. Since being founded in 1985, Harvest Homes has supported over 600 pregnant women and their children. As an advocate for women's rights and a supporter of mothers and families in need, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and the Archwell team celebrated the women of Harvest Home by creating a pop-up baby boutique, hosting lunch from a female-owned restaurant, and making a donation to the organization. Amazing. Happy International Women's Day to all of you, whether donating your time, funds, or helping a woman in your community. Let's all celebrate the women in our lives today and every day. Amen to that. And thank you all of you for supporting this podcast. The overwhelming majority of you are women. There's a small group of you that are men, and you are equally just as supportive. And we appreciate you too for being in this space and being supportive of this space, and Meghan and Harry, of course. But really, the person who has bared the brunt of the tabloid vitriol is Meghan, and I'm so glad that we have this positive and uplifting community. Right, over in Harry's world, so we got to see Harry at the Uplift Better Up event, and he was there with Alexis. This is the happiest hostage I've ever seen. Can Meghan please take me hostage? I want to be this happy too. So like I said, I can't comment too much on what was said because I only saw bits and pieces, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. But here are just some great pictures. Also backstage, Harry is 100% in his tech bro era, and we're loving it. Looking sleek. We've got new suede shoes, fitted, looking like, a real tech bro that's ready to invest 500,000 in your startup. Oh, before I go into the next thing, I almost forgot. Meghan's handbag sold out. Which one of you bought 10? I can't see the price on this, but it's probably a couple hundred. Like Patrick, I only have $3. Right, to your comments, and then we will continue. Yes, Patricia, our Duchess knows how to show up. She doesn't come empty-handed. Yeah, the Chanel bag is really nice, actually. One of the things I love about most of Meghan's outfits is that they're very easily replicated. So you can see here, she's pretty much just all in black. You get some black jeans, some nice white flats, a nice black jacket, very simple large earrings. I think there might be pearls, and also the glasses with the tortoise arms. All of that is very pretty. Like you could replicate that pretty easily. So even people that can't necessarily afford the designer stuff, can rep her style. And I think that look would look good on pretty much any body shape. Oh yeah, shout out to the staff members out with her as well. Yeah, Harry's living his best life. Maureen, you said Meghan thrives out from under the royal thumb, showing all how doing for others feeds your own joy. Yes, it really does. Yeah, Valerie, I want to be taken hostage too. I want to be hostage in that Montecito castle. Take me, please. Adopt me. The handbag is thousands of dollars. Okay. Sistren, a couple of thousand. Some squaddies have some deep pockets. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tina bought like 5. Anna Marie said Meghan at Zeus class, yet she appears to be so down to earth. Yeah, there's actually a video of this as well, and she's just very happy, smiling, saying hi to people. The paparazzi are actually being generally respectful. Actually, in the video, they're keeping their distance. But there has been a lot in LA, a lot of legislation levied on paparazzi now, so they're not as aggressive as they were in those early TMZ days. Right, so there's that. In other Harry news, the battle is on. Prince Harry and others versus Piers Morgan and other parts of the press is gonna go ahead. I believe the first hearing is May 9th. So it's only 3 days after the coronation. Harry is a witness. What we don't know is whether or not he will have to stand trial in the witness box. That we don't yet know. So Harry's lawsuit against the publisher, the Daily Mirror newspaper, over allegations of phone hacking will go to trial in May. A judge at London's High Court has ruled. Harry is one of several public figures whose lawsuit against the Mirror Group newspapers MGN will be considered at trial. Judge Timothy Fancourt ruled on Wednesday that Harry's case, which alleges unlawful information gathering on behalf of MGN journalists between 1996 and 2011, should be part of the trial. And one of the things that Harry talks about in his book is the stalking of his girlfriend, a former girlfriend, Chelsea Davy. They put tracking devices on her car, and she couldn't understand how was it that they knew where she was all of the time. And then one of Harry's friends realized what was going on. I mean, can you imagine what that would do to someone's trust of people, what that would do to their mental health, on top of the constant hounding from the paparazzi and stalking from the paparazzi? These people really had no boundaries, no respect for others, and it was really the wild, wild west during those days. You could have a camera and act like a stalker and it would be fine. And I'm so glad we're finally at the point where perhaps there will be some repercussions for their behavior, because it really was wild back in those phone hacking days. Now, given this, and given that Piers Morgan is implicated in this, and I believe also Rebecca Brooks and Rupert Murdoch are also going to be implicated in this lawsuit, and I think there's also another lawsuit. Expect perhaps more ranting from Morgan. He actually won an award the other day, and for some reason, he could not keep Meghan out of his mouth. You're literally there winning an award, and all you can talk about is Meghan. Why? Why can you not keep her out of your mouth? And you would think with this trial coming up, he would be a lot more careful. Or he's known this trial is coming up, and yet he's still has been ranting and raving about Meghan and Harry. And so expect also that the mainstream press will hardly cover this trial. It will hardly cover it. And if they do, it will be very quietly. Oh, thank you so much to Belinda Shepherd for becoming a new member. Welcome to the Members Club. Much appreciated, darling. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Yes, welcome to the asylum. Thank you, Church Nelly. Yeah, Days of Cece, they are obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. Yeah, Mackenzie Murdoch getting hit from all sides. There's the lawsuit with Dominion in the US. He's basically, I guess you could say, been voted out in Australia because the new PM for Australia was against Murdoch, and now there's this case happening in the UK. And also, it's going to be interesting to see how the other royals behave because remember, Morgan was at that notorious lunch with Camilla before that article got posted, the Jeremy Clarkson one. Also, I hadn't realized, but 2-year anniversary of this. The 2-year anniversary. I don't have the picture where Oprah has her hands up, sorry. But it's so interesting to reflect on this now after all this time, and you realize just how tame Harry and Meghan were being in this interview and how little they were saying. I think perhaps for people outside of the royal bubble, it was very shocking what was said, but there were a lot of things that we knew and understood. I mean, one of the things that they didn't talk about actually during the Oprah interview was the whole situation with Jason Knopf and that whole lawsuit. But many of us, we knew that there were things like that going on for some time. So it wasn't really a shock to us. Right, go to your comments. Yes, Anne-Marie Murdoch thought that he was untouchable. And for a while he was, to be honest. He knows a lot of people's secrets. Right, in other more disturbing news, there's two recent articles that have popped up. One from Jeremy Kyle from a couple of days ago because he made a comment saying that Harry should throw Meghan down a well. And then Lady Victoria, I'm not going to call her a lady because she's really not, Victoria Harvey, saying she warns Harry it didn't end well for Diana. This echoes a lot of things that we've seen published in the press before. There was an article from Penny Jura back in 2021 where she said, and Penny Jura, she's not really royal rota, but she's royal rota adjacent. She is considered a mouthpiece for the palace, albeit not an official one. She made a comment in the Daily Mail saying Harry's making the same mistake as Diana. I fear he'll come to regret it just like his mother did. And then, other papers using language like look at history, car crash, royal interviews. These kind of threatening language is not acceptable. I don't know how we're still saying things like throw Meghan down a well. Obviously, Jeremy Kyle didn't see what happened to Eamon Holmes. Eamon Holmes said that we should throw Harry off of a balcony. And then remember what happened to Eamon Holmes? Literally like 3 weeks later, he broke his back. Please do not wish on others what you would not want for yourself. Now, as for Victoria Harvey, she is actually a close friend of Prince Andrew. She was a socialite back in the 90s. Hasn't really been known for anything since, and is suddenly all over the TV, morning talk shows. She's all over the tabloid press. And you have to wonder who is giving her the power and the space to say these things and be a mouthpiece. I'm saying things like it didn't end well for Diana. Like, what does that mean? Is that a threat? Why would you say something like that? Why is it necessary? And why is this woman who's really not known for anything other than being a socialite in the 90s and apparently friends with Prince Andrew all over the place making statements like this? It's very weird. Kim, you said, I think in the Oprah interview, they shot off a warning that the royal family didn't heed. Yeah, I guess you could put it like that, actually. I do wonder if the other royals and the press had backed off, whether or not Harry would have been as candid in his book. I don't know. Or he'd be as candid as he is now, because Harry has said, like, he's tried to sort this out in private, but they didn't want to. And I guess you're right, like, Kim, that was, I guess, a warning shot, and it's like, well, you didn't want to do things the nice way, the civil way. So I have to, I have to tell my truth because you keep trying to get everybody else to tell my truth. And everybody else is just being dishonest. Marina, Celia must at this point feel inadequate to constantly hear her husband obsessing about a woman other than her. Well, you know something, Marina? I think if we hear that Celia and Piers Morgan are divorcing, that is a sign that he's going to lose that court case. Because you know what? If he loses that court case, he's probably in for losing a lot of money. And I do wonder, there's other people that have vendettas against Piers Morgan, and rightly so, if that could open a can of worms. And he would probably have to pay out a lot. So if Celia files that divorce, then we'll know that our good sis wants that money before it's gone. Lorna, you said, just dropping in there are 3 cases in the US against Murdoch, 2 different voting machine companies. Another case filed this week. Oh, wow. So it's not just Dominion. There's others. You know what, guys and dolls? I know that I said that I wouldn't comment until the actual day. But I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that I think Harry and Meghan are going to the coronation. I think they're going. That's the bet I'm gonna make. All right, on to the next thing. Oh yes, Kate Garraway is apparently very worried. Harry and Meghan's factually inaccurate Lilibet claims causes her to worry. Oh my god, I can't tell you how much I laughed when I saw this headline. Like, she's not worried about the firefighters protesting, the ambulance protesting. We're running out of vegetables. They're throwing sewage in the water. They're stopping refugees from getting in the country. Oh no. She's not worried about people not being able to heat their homes. The rising cost of travel. Kate Garraway is worried about this. Like, I feel like this just sums up the whole of the British press landscape. It's just like you just have to laugh. But of course, this is in response to the fact that Lilibet was christened. And I guess we know why Godfather Tyler Perry flew into Montecito now. Apparently, he flew in a gospel choir. The local Los Angeles Reverend christened her. There was about 20 or 30 people there. There was an invite extended to the other royals, so they can't say that they weren't invited, but obviously they did not come. And we've also now found out that Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet now have their titles. Omid tweeted, last night a Sussex rep told me the children's titles have been a birthright since their grandfather became monarch. This matter has been settled for some time in alignment with Buckingham Palace. So basically, everything that we've heard from the so-called royal rota has just been speculation and spin, as usual. This morning, I actually got an email from the Telegraph with this: what Meghan got wrong about royal titles. Of all the things going on in the United Kingdom, they dedicated a whole email to this. What did she get wrong? Because there's your line of succession right there. Prince of Wales, William. Prince George of Wales. Princess Charlotte of Wales. Prince Louis of Wales. The Duke of Sussex, Harry. Prince Archie of Sussex. Princess Lilibet of Sussex. And the Duke of York, Andrew. So there's your line of succession. What did she get wrong? And apparently this matter has been settled for a while. And because of all of this, the derangers are having a nightmare. They're having a nightmare, they're having a meltdown. Blood pressure machines are going to be in short supply. And I'm going to go through some of the tweets in a moment, because you're going to laugh. We're going to have a good laugh today. But I just wanted to say this. Okay, so Harry and Meghan said in the Oprah interview that they wanted to give their children the title, so effectively they could choose whether or not they want the titles. And also, I guess, at the end of the day, they are children born into the royal family, and they should have their heritage respected. They are, grandchildren of the late monarch, the Queen. And they are still part of this family, regardless of how we personally feel about monarchy. They are still part of this family. However, also, this monarchy is hanging on a thread. And so I don't understand why the derangers are so mad, because the likelihood of us having another 2-3 generations of royals, very unlikely. You've still got the Cambridge kids, that they are the heirs and the spares. It's highly unlikely to ever go to any further than that. And if the monarchy is abolished, all this birthright stuff, and is, we are, I think it's becoming more likely that could happen, the monarchy being abolished. If that happens, well, all this title stuff goes with it. And really, other than in the UK, nobody really cares about these titles. And given everything that Harry and Meghan are building, their businesses, their charities, it's like, well, those kids, I mean, they're going to decide whatever they want to do with their lives, but their parents have set them up with something to take over and to oversee if they want to. They don't have to be involved with the royals. They'll live their own lives. So I don't understand. I guess I do understand, why the derangers are having a meltdown, but it's unnecessary, it's petty, and it makes them look ridiculous. Like, nobody should really care this much. But we're going to go through their tweets in a minute. I'll read your comments before we get to theirs. Gwendolyn, you say that you hope that they stay at home and celebrate Archie's birthday. Yeah. I guess we'll see. But I think they're coming. Hi, Jennifer. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to the channel. And we said the best decision that Harry and Meghan made is when they left that imperial family. Look at them now. They are called irrelevant by Pukeface. They're so irrelevant that we are getting daily commentary about whether or not Harry and Meghan are coming to the coronation on British morning TV, on top of all of the other things that are going on. Hi, Frederica. Oh, you've been put on the waiting list for the volunteers at the Invictus Games, and we'll get several free tickets to the event. Amazing. Please let us know how that goes. I will be at Invictus, so looking forward to seeing you there. That is amazing to hear. If you want to connect when we're on the ground, Federica, message me via Instagram, Duchess of Success Official. Would love to see you there. Congratulations. And I'll definitely love for you to call in and let us know how your experience is going as a volunteer for Invictus if you get chosen. Days of CC, do they get paid for making articles and headlines in the news for talking about it? Yes, they do. Pretty much anything with Harry and Meghan gets more views and clicks. So it's become almost difficult now. I think I've mentioned this before, to tell between what is palace briefing versus the press just making up spin, the palace briefing to the press, and the different officers in the palace briefing to each other. It's just such a mess now. And you don't know what is what and who is gossiping and briefing about who. Rahini, the derangers might be scared about the Nostradamus prophecy that Harry might be king. Yeah, I mean, Nostradamus was right about a few things. So, Roseanne, if Harry's court hearing is on I think it's on the 9th of May, they may come to the coronation. Yeah. Yeah, but it's still left to be seen whether or not Harry will be in the witness box. Yes, please do message me on Instagram, Federica. Thank you. You've put it in a holiday, so even if you don't make the cut, I'll be at the event showing people on. Fantastic. Yeah, I think closer to the time, we'll definitely make a group so we can all meet up. Right, let's go on to the deranger tweets because they're quite hilarious. Oh, also, okay, so not only are they mad about the titles that nobody outside of the United Kingdom, quite honestly, cares about, they are also mad at the likes of Lady C and other royal reporters. Because Lady C and the royal reporters have been trying to spin this narrative all the time that Harry and Meghan aren't going to get their way, that Harry and Meghan are failing, and every time they're just wrong. So these were some of the comments that Lady C's fans were left for her. And, those of you, before I actually get onto this, those of you who have been listening to me for a very long time, if I do not know anything, and quite frankly, like the royal reporters and everyone else, I know nothing about exactly what Harry and Meghan are doing, I will straight up say that I'm just speculating. I will never sit here and say that I know this, that, and the third, for a fact, if I don't know it for a fact. I don't talk to the Sussex camp. I have no connections to them. I will never claim that I know something or state something as fact that I don't know. I always say when I'm just speculating. But anyway, these are some of the comments that Lady C's fans, cannot believe she has fans, were posting on Twitter. You keep warning that they're in for a shock, Lady C, and nothing comes of it. The narcissist has won. Time you face up to this. It's a woke world out there. Another one saying, Lady C can say all she wants, but until then, I don't believe what she says. What happened to the woman that was going to come out and talk about Harry's past? We've got another one here. They have gotten away with it all. Nothing's going to punish them, and their nasty words about the family will ring in the air forever. I get that the kids are just kids and they shouldn't be punished for their awful parents, but the awful parents have got away with it. Got away with what? What have they gotten away with? Oh my god. It's like a Scooby-Doo episode. Would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that awful Sussex squad. Another person saying, I think that Lady C needs to stop now. So many hints and hedging of bets and predictions to tell. It's all gotten a bit stale now. She releases her bombshells at the same time as others do, so her predictions lose their relevance. Another person saying she's just another grifter. Nothing relevant has ever come from her. And then another one saying, seriously, she doesn't know what's going on either. I mean, Are they only just realizing this? They're only just realizing that these people, these grifters like Lady C, like the royal rodents, have no access. The very reason why Harry and Meghan left was so that they couldn't have access. And they honestly believe that somebody like Lady C knows what's going on with the Sussexes. Nobody knows what's going on. We know what's going on when their spokespeople um give statements to Carly or to Omid. I think that those are the two that the Sussex spokespeople seem to give the exclusives to. Or when they post on the Archwell website. And they're only just figuring out that the likes of Lady C have been lying all this time. And then there was more meltdowns over the titles. Their bad behavior has been rewarded. The green light has been given for them to carry on. Another person said, I just said this elsewhere, they have to have their titles taken away from them. We'll see what happens, but I, for one, won't be surprised if those titles are removed. To be honest, what does it... I don't know, guys. I've always said I am a Harry and Meghan fan. I'm not a monarchist. I just don't care about this title stuff. So I don't know why anybody else does. At this point, like, why are we still getting into it about titles? For Harry and Meghan, those are their children, and for whatever reason, they have decided that they want to give these titles to their children. They want, to honor their children's heritage. But like, why do we care? We're living in a time now where we should actually be questioning whether or not we uphold these institutions. And I've always said, if the majority of the United Kingdom wants a monarchy, then we can keep the monarchy, but they should pay for themselves. Why are we paying hundreds of millions to upkeep them? For what? They can make their own wealth. So I don't know. I am just completely and utterly unbothered either way about this whole title stuff. I actually said from the very, very beginning, and a lot of squaddies were very angry at me about this. I actually said that, give yourself peace, remove yourself from the whole royal line. I thought from the beginning that Harry should just abdicate. And so many squaddies, oh my god, the way I was attacked on Instagram when I said that, only to find out in the Netflix documentary years later that they offered to give up their Duke and Duchess titles anyway. But the way people used to come at me when I said, well, that they should hand over the titles themselves. Because really, like, somebody explained to me in the comment section, right now in this here 2020, what's the date today? The date is the 9th of March 2023. What does it matter? Like, what is this title stuff all about? What does it matter to you? What does it matter to me? Who does it matter to at this point when people in the United Kingdom are struggling to heat their homes? So I don't understand why these people are having such a meltdown. Right. Oh yeah, and this is Valentine Lowe having a whinge. It could have been easily cleared up by the palace saying, we are waiting for Harry and Meghan to say what they want, or for the Sussexes to say what they want, and or for the Sussexes to say what they have now said. Neither did anything until now. It makes you wonder what has been going on. So thank you, Valentine Lowe, for admitting that you don't know what's going on, that you're completely clueless, and so are the other gossip peeps in the Royal Rota. They don't know what's going on. Anna Marie, they need to talk about the titles because they have nothing else to say. Yeah, that's true. Their faves are not creating any impact. Their faves are showing up to food banks without food. So they've got nothing to talk about. No, Star, Omid does get exclusives. He does. Oh, thank you so much, Lorna, for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Thank you. Mackenzie, you said it's important to them, deranged class and privilege and the air of respect, so they assume it's important to Meghan. Yeah, but it's like you're getting offended about um a, a part of society that you'll never even be part of. Like these derangers who are, out here on these Twitter streets. It's not like they're even part of the aristocracy. A lot of them are just normal working class people. But I guess you're right. Because they think it's important to them. They think that it's important to Meghan and Harry, and important to the world. But really, nobody cares about these titles outside of the UK. Oh, by the way, in the positive news, I've actually met two people who saw the Netflix documentary and said that it did change their mind, and that they do look at Meghan more favorably now. So the Netflix documentary is doing its job. Rahini, as a recovering royalist. Hi, my name is Rahini. I am a recovering royalist. You said I have been trying to figure out the benefits of the titles. I don't think there are any. Do you know the only thing that I will say about the titles in regards to Lily and Archie that genuinely bothered me was that it seemed to only be a problem with the biracial kids. That is the only thing I will say genuinely bothered me. Otherwise, I do not care about any of this stuff, okay? I want the next book, the next podcast, the next charity thing that we're doing. I want a clothing line, or whatever it is that the Sussexes are going to do in their business life. All this royal stuff, miss me with it, please. EMG. Wow, I don't understand why saying that would make people attack you. I completely agree with what you said. The titles are meaningless. Yeah, because to be honest, aren't most of us just here because we like Harry and Meghan? We're not here because we're royalists. So I don't understand why they were getting mad at me either. Frederica, the titles won't be removed because it takes an act of parliament supported by a majority vote. Yeah, that's true. The Tories support the Crown, the Labour support the Sussexes. No MP will sponsor it and lose votes. Well, that's not entirely true. Kai Starmer, who's the current Labour leader, he was knighted by Charles. So it's not entirely true that Labour as a whole, as a party, support the Sussexes. You've had some Labour prime ministers that have supported the Sussexes, yes. Having said that, to be fair, give them credit where it's due, there have also been Tory ministers that have supported the Sussexes. In fact, in that letter that was signed after Jeremy Clarkson wrote that article in The Sun, there were a lot of Tory MPs who signed that letter speaking out against Jeremy Clarkson. So it's not as black and white as Tory support this and Labour support that. On both sides, there are people that do and don't support, and both publicly and privately. Sometimes people just won't say it because they feel that it might jeopardize a political position. But you'd be surprised, perhaps, how many Tory MPs would rather get rid of the crown also. Even Margaret Thatcher never really had a great relationship with the Queen. Right, let's just get through your comment. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say today, actually. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll get through your comments and we'll call it a day. Yeah, Anna Marie, I would worry more about my day-to-day life than whose title should be taken away. Yeah, that's to me, the whole thing with the titles is very much a family matter and what Harry and Meghan want for Harry and Meghan's kids. And they have the right to whatever they want for their kids. But it's not really of any personal interest to me to the point where I would get upset about it. The way the derangers are, it's weird to me. Yeah, Rahini, that's also the titles kind of solidify their place in the history books. But you know, I feel like their parents have um their parents and what they're doing with all the charity work and the stars that they've become kind of solidifies them in the history books anyway. But I guess I know what you mean. So the CCU said, I am flabbergasted that Harry's happiness would cause so much furor. Do they really ever care for his happiness? Yeah, they seem to be utterly miserable at Harry's happiness. I've never seen any group of people so damn angry that someone is happy. Like, I'm sorry, but here he is, smiling away, smiling and happy. Like, cry more. Who would be so angry at somebody's happiness? It's a sickness. Federico, you said, thank you for the correction. I really appreciate understanding how the political parties look at this. Yeah, it's not as black and white. I think now it's not as black and white as it used to be. Joseph, you said our faves already have the character and service traits of a true prince and princess. They don't need any stinking titles to get uh, given to them on a silver platter. They live, breathe, and exemplify their titles. Amen to that. And with that, Joseph, I will give you the last word of the day. Brilliantly written there. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support as usual. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Been fabulous. Thank you, everyone, for donating. Appreciate your generosity. And yeah, see you back here around the same time tomorrow. Ciao.
Love's for beginners, ain't no winners. It slips through your fingers. I ain't telling no lies. So F all the drama, F the karma. Just do what you wanna. Promise you got time. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, treat yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Come get your future. Know you wanna, she'll never betray ya. She ain't telling no lies. So break the glass ceiling, find your meaning, make truth out of dreaming. Yeah. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, treat yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Be
All right, today we're going to talk about how we can find out and how much we can find out and what it takes to get there. So first we have to decide how much do we want to find out. So let's say in this case, I want to find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that level on my graph and I come horizontally to my gradient line. Where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line. That there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out. See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.